breaking apart from one another. Hello, I'm H.G. Tudor. Continuing to utilise the prominent example of Harry's wife to help you understand more about narcissism and its dynamic. EpicStream.com provide us with the base information, an article by Catherine Armisen. As always, I'll let you judge the veracity of the information contained therein. I apply it with regard to the concept and information about narcissism. It leads with the headline, Prince Harry's wife are breaking apart from each other. Sussexes have different plans, but Prince William's sister-in-law needs coupledom, columnist claims. Prince Harry and Harry's wife reportedly have different agendas at this point in their lives. Well, jumping straight in, they have had different agendas since the day that they met. Harry's agenda, well, he didn't really have one. He wanted to love someone and he wanted to be loved. He wanted to find somebody that he could have a meaningful relationship with. He wanted somebody that he could share his life with. Typical responses of somebody with emotional empathy. Harry's wife believes that she wanted the same, but she doesn't. She, although she doesn't realise this, needs to control everybody that comes up on her radar. She needs to suck fuel from people, the lifeblood of the narcissist. She needs to acquire character traits from those around her, and of course those all-important residual benefits, access to networks, a facade that can be managed, money, and so forth. Whenever it comes to her interactions with another human being, her narcissism seeks out one or more of those prime aims. That's all it focuses on. She doesn't know this. As an unaware narcissist, she thinks that what she does is about being kind, loving someone, wanting to better the condition of poor little orphans somewhere, that she wants to build houses for people in South Africa. She doesn't think in terms of, I need to control this person. She doesn't think in terms of, I need to get fuel out of this individual. But that's what's behind everything that she does when it comes to her interactions with another human being. Her narcissism dresses it up as something else. Of course, there'll be times where she will hate an individual because they've ignored her. How dare that person ignore me? And that, of course, is the manifestation of her wounding. And she'll want to get back at them. Her narcissism allows her to understand that she somehow wants to get a form of revenge over them. But she doesn't truly understand what's driving her behaviours. And if you were to ask her what she wanted from her relationship, she will no doubt come out with some beige claptrap and fridge magnet platitudes, again occasioned by her standard and style of narcissism. Thus, the agenda of Harry's wife has always been this: control Harry, draw fuel from him, acquire character traits from him, and utilise him for the pursuit of residual benefits. But she never realised that, and nor, importantly, did Harry. The article tells us that Prince Harry and Harry's wife haven't been spotted together as frequently as expected. The royal couple have been doing solo engagements, and one columnist claims they are breaking apart. Early this year, Harry's wife was visibly missing when Prince Harry did several interviews to promote his book, Wah! Star columnist Celia Walden of the Daily Telegraph appeared on GB News and shared an update about the Sussexes arrangement. She said, "There's already whispers of the idea that sort of Harry and her seem to be breaking apart from each other in terms of their agendas slightly." She noted that while they now do their own thing, Harry's wife still needed her tandem with her husband. What's this, Daisy getting on a bicycle for two? She continued, "You know that they are both sort of leading slightly separate lives in terms of what their public duties are at the moment. And I suppose that's tricky for her too, because she needs the whole coupledom thing to be front and centre." Wooten on GB News noted that Harry's wife likened her and Prince Harry to salt and pepper. However, they haven't been seen as often as they were before. In fact, Prince Harry will attend King Charles's coronation without his wife. Harry's wife had reportedly decided to stay in their $14 million mansion with their kids Archie and Lilibet. Harry's wife is reportedly planning an intimate 4th birthday bash for Archie. Prince Harry will reportedly immediately fly back to the United States and will not finish the 3-day festivity for King Charles's coronation. One should note that Walden spoke about the couple breaking apart in terms of their agendas. However, they are still very much together. Well, make your mind up as to what it is. Last week, the Duke and Duchess of Sussex were spotted enjoying a date night. See parts past him by watching Los Angeles Lakers and the Memphis Grizzlies at the Crypto.com arena in Los Angeles. At one point during the game, the kiss cam panned on them. However, while Prince Harry was game to participate and leaned in to kiss his wife, Harry's wife was noticeably not on board with it. The Duchess of Sussex was seemingly embarrassed. She just laughed, turned her face away and gave her husband a playful tap on the arm. Well, as I've explained elsewhere, she wasn't embarrassed. That was a public devaluation of him. Prince Harry's biographer Angela Levin said on GB News, when she weighed in on the matter, "I think she didn't want him to kiss her. I think those days, PDA pack days, are possibly far less of an interest for her." Accordingly, there's the suggestion from some bits of information that have been cobbled together that they are breaking apart from each other. They actually have not broken up, but they are breaking apart. This is the sustained devaluation. And of course, if this writer knew anything about narcissism, she would understand that the behaviours that have been witnessed, the periods of time apart, the public devaluation that occurred, are all part of Harry's sustained devaluation, where he simply isn't what he used to be. He isn't providing as much fuel, he's proving more difficult to control, and the attractions that were surrounding him once upon a time are not as great. And thus, Harry's wife, in effect, has become bored with him. And that means that her narcissism tells her that he's a traitor, he's treacherous, he's unreliable. And therefore, this causes her to lash out at him with these various forms of devaluation. Many of these forms of devaluation we don't actually see, but you can take it from me as a narcissist that they are taking place. They always are. Behind those closed doors, he will be subjected to tantrums, to silent treatments. He'll be put down, belittled, invalidated, led in circular conversations, suffering false accusations, accusations coming out of nowhere. He'll be triangulated malignly with other people, other things, other events. He will be blamed. She will project upon him. She will provoke him, and more. These are the things that narcissists do, and a narcissist of her nature will engage in much of this behind closed doors. For the sugars to bleat, "You don't know them," we don't need to. We've established that she's a narcissist and that he is the intimate partner primary source, and because she's a mid-range narcissist, I am able to tell you as a consequence of my expertise in narcissism precisely what is going on. So in part, they are breaking apart because she's not treating him well, and hasn't been doing so for years. They have not yet broken up, although, of course, as I've explained in parts past him, that is becoming increasingly closer. And we've seen that she has hung him out to dry following the Shitflick series and particularly the disclosures from Wah, as her narcissism continues through devaluing behaviours to kill two birds with one stone. She devalues him by having little to do with him, by in effect giving him absent silent treatments. And at the same time, that enables her to focus on the creation of things which are solely about her. She is not doing this with one eye on the future. That is one thing that many people keep getting as a mistake. Her form of narcissism doesn't think that far ahead. She might have advisors who are saying to her, you need to be thinking about what your image will look like, what direction you're taking in terms of the role that you're playing in the world. But she does not sit there, and think to herself, I'm going to get rid of Harry in 6 months' time, so I need to ensure that I'm shipshape in terms of different income streams, that he's seen as the villain, and that I'm rehabilitated in some way. No. When she does these things now, she's thinking, I need to look good. Therefore, that means rehabilitate the image. That serves a purpose at a later juncture, as and when she's disengaged from him. But she doesn't think about the rehabilitation of her image because she is going to disengage from him. She thinks about it because it needs to be done now. And then at a later juncture, it is serendipity for her that she sought to rehabilitate her image ahead of disengagement. She will be recognising that there is pressure upon income streams, and therefore that is a threat to control. And consequently, at this point in time, her narcissism compels her to seek out fresh ones, new deals, new representation. She isn't thinking, I need to get new deals and new representation because I'm going to bin Harry in 6 months' time, and therefore I need to be able to be financially independent of him. No, her narcissism doesn't work that way. Again, what it does is, there is a threat to control now posed by income stressors. She therefore has to respond to that, and she has been doing so, and then, when she does disengage from Harry, serendipity once again that her narcissism had caused her to put in place alternative income streams independent of him that she can rely on. Remember, some narcissists don't do that, so that when they disengage from the intimate partner primary source, they're very much reliant on getting a new one because they need someone to support them financially. What the narcissism is focused on at the point of disengagement is getting rid of that bad person. It might be because they've inserted somebody new, but sometimes it's for other reasons, which mean got to get rid of them, and right, they're gone. Now what do we do about a primary source? And the narcissist starts looking at that point. Lesser and mid-range narcissists don't do the level of planning that many people think that they do. It's born of what's going on in the moment. Accordingly, it is accurate in a sense to say that they are breaking apart from one another because of the devaluing behaviour that she's engaging in. And quite possibly, there may be instances where Harry's sick and tired of it, so he moves away from her. But it is also the case that Harry's wife does need the concept of coupledom, because she's not ready, not yet anyway, but it's not too far away, to disengage from Harry. Furthermore, of course, she needs to portray to the outside world that this is a successful marriage, because that's part of her facade, and therefore the coupledom is important in that regard. I'm H.G. Tudor. Thank you for listening.